Hello, welcome to Rep Sports and welcome to the post-day show. A Duleep Trophy is on. Obviously, some fascinating cricket being watched. India A versus India B, India C versus India D. Of course, a lot to talk about in the next 15 to 20 minutes. Nearshish will get started off with India A versus India B as always. Musheer Khan obviously could not reach to 200, but 181 for a 19-year-old, one of the highest ever in a Duleep Trophy debut. So hats off. Like, they've spoken a lot about Musheer Khan, but I think one last talk of him, 181 is a commendable score. So your thoughts on Musheer? He could have pushed for 200.
Yes, absolutely. I think the 200 would have been very good for everyone, for us as a viewer also. Even we also wanted to score him that double-handed because the way he has batted throughout the innings is absolutely commendable. Especially the way he batted along with Navdeep Saini. No one would have believed that they will put up a 200 plus partnership for that wicket, and the
Yeah.
way they have that 321 score on the board on that tricky wicket, that was a massive total for the team. And I think today the wicket was good for batting than yesterday. It looked pretty good. But still, you have to give credit to Mushir Khan the way he paced his innings. Initially, he was fully defensive. Just respecting the bowlers the way their bowlers were bowling at the initial stage. But as the game progressed, he batted brilliantly, and the way he finished, absolutely brilliant. But yes, we would have been very much happy if he would have scored that double-handed on his debut.
Yeah, yeah. That would have been special. Getting that 200 mark, I think that would be unforgettable. But I think the score as well, 181, is no less. Bharat, Navdeep Saini, what a wonderful hand there. 58 runs, 56, 58 runs. Really showed his batting capabilities. Hung in there, made it difficult for the opposition team, and of course with the ball as well, getting those two wickets. Obviously, the other team at the moment has gotten a partnership and they've managed getting some runs with Riyan Parag and KL Rahul, India A that is. But he's gotten those two early wickets, got those runs. So your thoughts on signing?
Yeah, he's a decent batter in domestic cricket, so not really surprised that he made a decent contribution. But it came at a time when they were 90, sorry, 94 for seven. So you have to give him a lot of credit because the ball was doing quite a bit at that time. He could have just come in and played a rash shot and got out, but he was willing to stick in there. He was willing to hang in there, and then he tried to play shots. So he played like a decent batsman, and it showed a lot of maturity. With the ball in hand, there's a good ball to Gill, though obviously Gill would be a bit disappointed with the way he left that ball because his back foot didn't load up at all. This is an old issue because of which his front foot doesn't move across, so that is why he's not able to cover the off stump. It's an old issue that Scott Boland, some Team Southey, Jimmy Anderson, all these bowlers have exploited. So Gill would be disappointed, but yeah, a good wicket for Saini. And then yeah, Mike Agarwal would think
Yeah.
he was unlucky because he was caught down the leg side. It looked like he was going to get 100, but wicket is a wicket. But the main thing about Saini was his batting. Yeah, he showed great maturity, and obviously Musheer Khan was still the star of the match for the way he is batting.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, he definitely is. Snehashish at Shubman Gill dismissal, we're speaking about it. Quite a shocking one there. He went to leave it, came back in, got him knocked over. Might dent his confidence a bit here, but we all know he's a class player, a lot of caliber. But he has to convert these starts. You can't, if you're an experienced player, you have to get yourself in. And once you've gotten yourself in, make sure you push on for a 50 or even 100. Shubman Gill being the player that he is. So are you disappointed with his performance?
Yes, absolutely. I think Shubman Gill must have been very disappointed because he got the start. He was looking decent about those 20-25 runs, but the way he looked that ball, he was very confident the ball would go straight or away from the bat, but the ball just nipped back from the ground and it hit the stumps. I think he was fully convinced that the ball would have come at the stumps, but he was surprised when after the dismissal. But it is disappointing because the wicket was is good today at batting. It's not like the yesterday's wicket where the balls are doing much much movement rather than yesterday. But today the wicket is good. Wicket was good, so I think Shubman Gill would have liked to be stay there and end the day, while batting. But okay, no issue. Another innings might be for him, and rest of the matches is there. But yes, for Shubman Gill, I think you expect him to score big runs because he
Yeah,
used to score those runs, and I think from for personal perspective, Shubman Gill must have been disappointed with the dismissal and with that much of runs on his under his belt.
yeah,
Just
absolutely.
at a
Bharat,
point actually,
yeah,
on Gill. The thing is, it's an old issue. See, it's basic. If you don't move your back foot across, then your front foot won't cover the off stump. If his front foot had covered the off stump, if the ball even if he had even misjudged whether the ball is coming in or going away, he would have at least hit the pad, so he had a better chance of surviving. Umpire might have thought it is going to go over the stumps. I think that is where the problem has come. It's come in the past also against England. Again, it came when he was dismissed by Anderson in the first innings of the Vizag Test. He corrected it, and it is again come back. So yeah, that is something that should be troubling Gill, because from time to time he's tried to correct it,
hmm.
and it's gone back it's gone back to those old problems.
Yeah, yeah. Bharat, one more question for you before we end the topic of discussion for this game at least. KL Rahul, Riyan Parag at the wicket at the moment. What are you expecting out of these two? KL Rahul would be looking at this moment as a massive opportunity, and the same goes to Riyan Parag. Just coming into this Indian scenario, the Indian setup, so he would like to score some runs as well. So big opportunity for the both of them. Your thoughts on both these players?
Yeah, KL Rahul obviously has also got a reprieve. I guess he was dropped once, so he has to convert this into a big score. This is his chance to get a big score, and in front of the home crowd, a lot, whatever fans, maybe around 100 fans had come today. I obviously had gone to the stadium. About 100 fans had come today, and out of those 100 fans, at least 80, 90 of them were cheering for KL Rahul. They were disappointed that he didn't open the batting. So, at least
Yeah,
in the front of his home crowd, this is his chance to get 100 and start the season on a good note. Yeah, Riyan Parag obviously was a little more flamboyant, played those fine drives, and it was good to see. I think Riyan Parag is really growing as a first-class cricketer. On a side note, what really interested me when I went to the stadium was not just KL Rahul, even our Yash Dayal was getting some support. Seems like him playing for RCB has helped Yash Dayal to get some support alongside KL Rahul. Good, it was
yeah,
good to see.
absolutely. Sneshish, there's a question. Do you think Shreyas will find a place against the Bangladesh squad?
Uh, mm, I personally want him to get a chance in the squad at least. But let's see. I'm not sure because he has been, I think, out of the test team scenario for some time, and he's coming back. He has scored runs in the white ball format, especially for KKR in the last time around. But it's a good 50 today. He scored a good 50 today. But yeah, again the same thing as a batter like Shreya Iyer, you would like to score him a big 100 because he has managed to score those runs on big occasions. So a good
Hmm.
50 after a dismal show in the first innings. But overall, let's see how it is goes. But personally, I want him to get at least a place in the squad. I am not saying in the playing 11 certainty, but at least in the squad, I want him to get a place.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of competition in that position, like we discussed, but he'll have to pile up the runs and then maybe the selectors might take that call. Bharat, moving on to India C versus India D, Harshit Rana was the star initially. What a fantastic bowling performance. 4 wickets. He's clearly making himself feel felt in this whole domestic scenario at the moment. When we think of Harshit Rana, we think of him as a T20 or an ODI bowler, but I'm sure he can play Test cricket. If he's bowling like this, I'm sure there's a chance for him to maybe somehow get into this Test squad as well. Your thoughts?
Honestly, I look at him as more of a test match bowler, as an aggressive fast bowler. I've asked him last year in Duleep Trophy as well. Here, they were playing a weak team, Northeast zone, but the way he bowled from round the wicket, hitting the deck hard, as they call it as HTD bowling from round the wicket, he bowled. This kind of bowling, if he goes to Australia, he can be very useful in those conditions. Hits the pitch hard, gets a little bit of sea movement. Yeah, there is Prasidh Krishna, there is Mayank Yadav who can take over this role, but Prasidh Krishna's mental strength perhaps is not the greatest, and Mayank Yadav also has injury issues. So if India are looking out for a hit the
Yeah,
deck tall fast bowler, he's quite tall as well. I have interviewed him and he's quite tall. So a tall hit the deck fast bowler who can be useful in Australian conditions. Yeah, I can bat a bit as well, though he
yeah.
was
Anti cricketer.
done in by short pitch bowling, but he can bat as well. And I see Manav Sutar also has taken some wickets, 5 wickets, and Baba Indrajit got a brilliant
Yes.
79.
Yes.
I talked to him earlier in the year. Someone he's the kind of old school batsman. Even if he's on 1 of 50 balls, I don't think anything phases this guy. So I like his style. Like today also batted in similar fashion. He was on 20 of 80 balls and then went and scored 79.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. These battles keep coming up, and there's so much competition. So, figuring out who your playing 11 is going to be is definitely going to be a task. Devdutt Padikkal also got some runs. He's 56. A good knock for him. Again, would have liked to push on. Someone like Musheer on the other end is getting 181. 56 seems very less in comparison, but a good knock nevertheless. But I'm sure he would have liked to push on to get some more runs. Your thoughts on that knock, Snehashi?
Yes, I think the same like Shreyas Iyer. I said that both these batters got
Yeah.
start, put up a brilliant partnership because the way they are batting. At one stage, I was saying I was looking the score. They were scoring runs at good pace because if you see the both innings of the first innings of this team, it it was a low scoring innings both innings. But in this innings, India they batted very quickly and piled up those runs. 206 runs today only. It's a good start. But again,
Yeah.
losing 8 wickets at the end of the day, ultimately that didn't help them. Ultimately, that didn't because that partnership was the main for this team that Devdutt Padikkal and Shreyas Iyer won. If one of them would have stayed there by the end of the day, or that partnership could have been last a bit longer, then I think things could have been more better for India D. But yeah, at the end of the day, those 50s were good, but and they batted a very with a very positive intent. But I think you have to give credit to Manav Sutar, the way he
Hmm.
bowled the 5 wicket haul, and at the start of this match, when we did the morning show, we mentioned Manav Sutar's name that he will be one of the player to watch out for because I have been very impressed with him since the under 19 days with India with the left arm spin, and I am very happy to see that he's been, he transforming those
Yeah.
performance here also in Duleep Trophy also, and today also he proved that he has to stay. But when it comes to Devdutt Padikkal and Shreyas Iyer, as I said, that both will be happy with the 50, but would be disappointed also that this partnership would have lasted a longer, and then the team would have been better positioned than we.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for bringing up Manasu. I think some names go unnoticed, and I'm so happy for him as well. Those 5 wickets will really make a big difference. Bharat, who do you think the paces are going to be for the India Bangladesh test? That's the question here.
Obviously, we still don't know how India will rotate will
Yeah.
exactly rotate their pace bowlers. But from whatever I've seen, I think maybe if he gets his pace up, he was down on pace today, Akashdeep. But if he gets his pace back up to 140, then might be he might be in contention because he's definitely hitting the seam nicely. I think he would be one of the pacers. Again, I will look at someone like Mohammad Siraj because obviously we don't expect
Yes.
someone like Jasprit Bumrah straight away to come into the Indian side. So because obviously they would look to rotate the ballers and rest him for a bit. So might be Akashdeep could be one of the options because they would look to rotate the pace ballers and see how they go. Just wanted to add
Yeah.
one point about
Sure, sure. Please.
Shreyas Iyer. See, Shreyas Iyer, I think he's been dismissed to a short ball. He's been dismissed to fuller length delivery that has moved around a bit away from him. So that's obviously away from India and away from Asia. So until I think the selectors are again convinced that he can handle the short ball. Recently also he got out to the short ball as well in the Kangal League match or something like that. So until the selectors are very much convinced, it could be difficult for him to get back in the test side. Yeah, in Indian conditions, he might go and get a 80 and 100. But again, it could be the same old story when India take him to South Africa or somewhere else. Even in England, he has failed in the one-off test, whatever one-off test is played. So same old story. So I think he has to convince the selectors somehow. It's not easy playing a short ball, overcoming a short ball problem. I think it's the most difficult thing I believe in cricket. In batting, as far as batting is concerned, but I think if he convinces the selectors, then might be I think he'll be back in the side.
Yeah. Thanks, Bharat. Snehashi, let's just end the show. But before that, we'll take one final question. Rinku Singh, should he have been part of this Duleep Trophy? It's a bit disappointing.
Yes,
It
he should
is.
have. Yes, you could have give him one chance because most of the players who are generally, getting picked for Team India in any format of the game, I have got chances in this Duleep Trophy. But we don't know the real, reason behind not picking him. There might be some other reasons also that for some injury or maybe, but we don't know about that. But yes, it could have been good to see Rinku Singh in action because you are seeing this youngster like Musheer Khan and everyone in action
Yeah,
and doing these runs, and these are good signs for Team India going forward. As the youngsters are ready, to give the you can put trust on them and give them the responsibility going forward that you can play for Team India. So they are
absolutely.
ready. You don't have to look for some players and you look for search for the players to put them in the playing 11 of Team India. So for Rinku Singh also, we would have been very happy to see him action, but definitely, hopefully he will be in contention for the at least for the T20 setup for India because he hasn't done anything wrong, not before the T20 World Cup and not after the T20 World Cup also. So I think at least in the
Mm.
T20 setup, I think Rinku Singh would have been in contention. I don't know about the Uday or maybe the Test setup, but at least in the T20 setup, I am pretty sure that he will be one of the players to watch out for Team India in coming.
Absolutely. You can't really keep a player like Rinku Singh out of any format for too long. So I'm sure he's going to make a strong comeback and, he's going to really take it by storm. Thank you, Bharat. Thank you, Sneha. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting day. It's well matched up at the moment. India D is leading by 202 runs. So both these games seem interesting, and both these games I think will have an interesting outcome. A lot more action coming away. So the audience, make sure that you stay tuned to Rev Sports. Make sure that you stay tuned tomorrow as well. We'll be back on the show at 9 a.m. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you all again tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Thank you.